Welcome everybody back to our first series of the night. What's so funny?
You're always funny.
Am I funny?
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't.
You
Welcome back to the first series of tonight. 2-0 MVP Miracle. And that's not a joke, even though G Club thinks it's funny. We're back here.
I don't think it's funny anymore.
It's a little bit sad, in fact. But find out what map we're headed to in just a moment. Pretty dominant 2 games for MVP Miracle as we head into this third one. Could be the last one of our first series, so do tell your friends who are waiting for L5 Black that it's coming up. We're very close. Very, very close.
Yep. And I went to the Korean side of the chat room, and they started delivering all their foods to get ready for that match too, and it's about dinner time here. So
order pizza.
Order pizza, order some fried chickens, and if you have not been in Korea, getting fried chickens in Korea, it's one of the best things in the world.
Yeah, it is. It's incredible. If you're in Korea, you could order one right now. If you're in America, maybe you go to a Korean fried chicken restaurant that's near you. If you don't have one, maybe you should consider moving to or visiting at least Korea to get some. But look, there's a lot of good food here. We're not going to get into it because we talk about it for hours.
Yes.
But I want to see a good draft from Raven. Their drafting so far has been intelligent but unorthodox. And I want to see maybe a standard draft going into this third game. Take first pick, don't take the map choice, and just draft standard and see how it goes. Because, I mean, otherwise it just feels like we're watching Miracle just play modern meta. They're playing old meta, and it's not working.
Yeah. And old metas, the reason why we call it old, because there are answers against it. We had so many matches. All the teams know what to do against that kind of team comp. It's old. There are lots of answers, actually. And that's why Miracle just out-rotated them. And, of course, with better team fights, they did what they can. And Raven, they looked better and looked a lot more comfortable.
Well, they also chose first pick, so they're already headed in the right direction as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, listening to you, Wolf. Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Now, let's see what they want to draft. This is Miracle's map choice. So, you and I were pretty sure we were going to see this one in the maps today because of the ban on Dragonshire, and that is precisely where we are going. So, strong heroes here, definitely the ETC, definitely the Diablo. Will we see Rhaegar first picked here for Chome again? That's the question. It was actually on the Uther in game 2. So,
No Heart Junction. I am a little quite sad, to be honest. But here we go, into the tomb. Finally, we'll see Raven first banning. Before they opened up Ario from the beginning and did not even take it. Let's see if they try changing that a little. When it's open, I don't think Miracle will actually open it.
Sylvanas definitely not going to be a part of this one. Don't be fooled by the map, the map, what's it, intro, map helper, like for people don't know the map tool, I don't know, that map.
Spotlight?
Spotlight, yeah, don't be fooled by the map Spotlight. It's not going to be seeing any Sylvanas here. Okay, Ariel's removed.
Okay.
Imagine this will likely be an ETC ban if I had to guess, you know, if I had to make a prediction based on what I have seen before, based on trends known to us.
The meta.
The meta. They could try to take the ETC themselves.
I'm not sure if it was this battleground, but we saw a few chromies over the past 24 hours in HGC. So, and Raven may be thinking something else, something like chromie, you know, the reworked chromie. And I think came out twice and 1 win, 1 loss.
I think this is still, what we're seeing right here is still consistent with what MVP Miracle has shown us. Because they first picked Tastar both times, which leads you to believe that they think that's the strongest first pick right now, so they remove it. And Raven can take ETC, but is ETC really first pick material here? I don't think so. I'd rather, honestly, I would actually be okay with if they just pick Rhaegar. Greymane, though.
I think this is already off to a better start. Taking Greymane out of Dami's end is always a good thing. And especially as Greymane just provides sustained damage, burst damage, peeling, flanking. One of the best DPS, I would say, for a long, long time.
Well, now that Vala is off the table, basically, because Tassar's gone very likely off the table anyways, Greymane's removed, this could be a mage game, for sure.
Jaina?
Like, Jaina, possibly Gul'dan. Like, Miracle can play these heroes. I would love to see Crazy moving on Jaina, but that's all. Well, that's where I have my special folder of 2015 VODs, but...
And I believe Sake also used Jaina on this map.
That's right.
Just 2 days ago.
You would be correct. Will be just the holy cow safe rotation here. The Uther ETC.
And the best skin on the ETC. Matters a lot.
It does matter a lot.
It boosts your win rate by a few %.
People will definitely trust you more if you have the skin too. Someone in my Hero League game today had the Jaina skin, the new one, and everyone was like, oh, I bet he's good at Jaina. I trust him because he has the skin. I'm like, I trusted him too, and he was good, so it turned out to be okay.
Okay.
Definitely gives you that extra boost of confidence of your teammates. So now Raven, Tyrael is available if they want to go down the Greymane all-in path. They can take the Rhaegar. They have loved so much. It's the Rhaegar, so burst heals so strong for Greymane as a hyper carry. Will we see the Tyrael paired with him? 5 seconds to go on that one. I think it's a strong choice here. Yep, okay, so just going to stick with what is the most, I guess you could say the most standard for how this Greymane draft is supposed to work. Then we'll probably see Raven ban the Arthas. Miracle can go into a Cassia draft now. Maybe that's where the direction they want to go.
They can bring lots of counters. Even Mage, as you mentioned from the beginning, can be a solid option, you know. Gul'dan, sometimes the corruption build came out often. Just last weekend especially, before this patch came in.
The Malthael ban is because they can't pick Tyrael anymore, and so they're afraid of that team fight potential. That Dion smile. You know, they got something planned. I think both the Arthas ban here and the Cassia ban are both very warranted. I actually kind of lean towards the Cassia ban because you can't assume that Miracle will play something mage or different. And that's the only really reliable 2-support DPS that's left that's strong against Greymane. So even though, as we were saying, there's a chance we see some Sniper Gul'dan, maybe some Sniper Jaina, I think that the safe move here, the safe bet, is to ban the Cassia. Arthas is also decently safe.
Yeah, against Miracle, of course, which is the team that uses Cassia. One of, I would say, the most from all Korean teams here.
So they do the risky ban. They take the risky ban. And I think that this means that we will see both Cassia and Arthas. And that's the other reason why banning the Jaina here is kind of a problem. Because now you've given both Arthas and Cassia to Miracle. And if you took one away, maybe they'd run the Jaina, but now they have both synergy. There's so much synergy between the Cassia and the Arthas, and the blinds that go into the Greymane, the slows into the Greymane. And you've basically just said, Miracle, I would like you to have everything that you would ever want to deal with our composition in the meta. It's not a bad ban, but it's the riskier one, and that's why I don't like it as much.
Then I think Miracle can still bring in something like Johanna for the line and go for Q-Vala. Not on hyper carry along with another DPS.
Yeah, could be double DPS. Maybe we get to see that Sylvanas, so we'd never see, but probably not. Cassia Arthas is where I'm leaning towards. Let's see what they want to lock in here. Gul'dan, so they go the mage route regardless with Malfurion for the extra sustained healing, so strong with the Gul'dan. I was hoping to see this, to be honest.
Also, they need some poke, and Malfurion can provide, along with the talent upgrade, can also have a longer range of poking. So it's also a pretty good tool. Maybe they were also considering Lucio, but they're not really divey, so they can still have pretty good tool when the other team tries to dive. Twilight Dream can be a pretty effective tool when you try to counter that too.
I wonder what they're going to do as a response. They take a solo laner that's good at threatening the backline, like a Zeratul, to try to kill Gul'dan, force out Ice Blocks early from Malfurion. Do they want to go for a solo laner that's going to just crush the lane? Because we don't know what the solo laner of Miracle is yet. That's the last pick for them. Big questions. With double support, we know there will be one. Muradin and Kael'thas. So this is
old KT.
This is probably like the meta shift that I was thinking we were going to eventually see throughout this week.
A few more mages coming up.
And the question is who's going to be solo lane. Maybe on this map you just don't really need one. Everyone rotates. Rhaegar can clear the wave top. So let's see how Miracle wants to play this, because they were definitely leaning towards doing double support with a solo laner that can carry like a Sonya because they have double support, but they're not. Uh-oh, 2 DPS, 2 support, 2 DPS on the side of Miracle. Kind of a wonky one, isn't it? We don't really see traps like this in Korea ever. Almost never, ever, ever. And I think it's only viable on this map because you don't need that solo laner so much here. It's the map where solo laner gets the least value. 1-9 on Kael'thas, by the way. Pretty abysmal win rate. Let's see if this mage comp for both these teams, which one's going to be the better one, because they both have 2 DPS, double support in the sense of the Tyrael. We'll see how this one plays out, guys, as we go into game number 3, Tomb of the Spider Queen. In blue, Team Raven on their last life in the series. Darvish on Greymane, Hamlin on Tyrael, NMX on Kael'thas, Diyoung on Muradin, and Chom on Rhaegar.
And in red, MVP Miracle. Judy on Malfurion, Dami on Gul'dan, Jaehyun on Uther, C moving on Vala, and Sniper on ETC. So back on old Convection.
Convection indeed. So Dami on.
Actually, it does make sense because there's nothing from the other side to dive in.
Yeah, the thing is, like, this is what Convection is designed to be. As long as you're careful against the ETC, you're not really worried about being picked. So this is what Convection is designed to be, right? Before the dive meta, before super aggressive, you know, heroes like Genji came out, or even before Greymane was meta. So if you just poke and chuck flames, you're going to be in a good place. Look, boom, there's some more stacks for you right there. And also remember, NMX was the final pick. Like, the Kael'thas was the final pick, so there was no way for Miracle to counter it. So he was probably playing this all along. Now, sure, would they have wanted to counter it? Would they have known he was in the pick of action? No, but I think it's a good talent given the situation.
I thought Miracle was going to finish with, I believe Genji was still open, just went through the draft. Maybe there was a slight chance of Miracle having the Genji along with Gul'dan, just having some pokes, and then Genji just goes swing that Dragon Blade along with the Divine Shield. I think could have been enough, but it is Q Vala, and Q Vala is
dead.
Yep, if you are on the wrong side. And
this game is just chaos because it doesn't. This game is not the meta. Like, this is not. We will never see a game like this, probably again.
Not this kind of rotation.
If we ever see a game like this again, it will be because the meta went to this meta. There's no solo laners in this game at all. Like, I'm watching Tyrael solo lane against Uther, kind of. Like, that's really weird. Like, I guess that's the solo lane. But it's not
versus Tyrael.
But it's not really a solo lane because Crazy Moon's gonna come over here. Those threaten gank. Greymane is doing a lot top lane though, so that's kind of where the trade-off is right now. Gul'dan's occasionally going up to clear, trying to get some more Echoed Corruption stacks, and there's not, like, both teams are just rotating around as 4 to 5. There's no real semblance of macro or rotational play here. It's just pick attempts over and over again as both mages farm their quests. That's why we see the Wolf build here for Rhaegar as well, so he can rotate very quickly. This is only usable on this map.
Which I think ETC gains a decent amount of power, but because of some CC available on the other side, Ooh, Chom getting focused here as Dami also falls.
Yep, very well done here actually by Raven. Sniper was not actually protecting him. He was trying to be aggressive there, and as a result, there was no protection. And I would love to see how many stacks there are on Kel'Thas.
5-ish right now.
Yeah, he's building it quite quickly. It is going to be kind of the mage gray main as well, obviously, with the cocktail build coming out. Yeah, and Raven is ahead quite significantly after the 2 picks they have. The gems they've collected, they have enough for a turn in very shortly, way faster than Miracle. In fact, already have 6 deposited. And so they will definitely have the early advantage. They're going to start putting those in right now. And this theoretically shouldn't happen with an ETC on the other side, but the positioning has been good. And that was the only thing they had to worry about with the Convection, as you were saying. You know, there's no real way to kill the Kel'Thas in the back line.
Of course, not yet. Later, they can dive in a little.
Oh, and by the way, I just want to put this out there for those who disagree and who claim lies on the internet. Convection has the highest pick rate in Korea. It is the meta build for Kel'Thas here. So
yeah,
before
not the mana.
So before you guys call us crazy, like, do some research on that one. This is definitely the meta build in Korea. Even against an ETC, you'd see it.
In competitive, not in Hero League, though.
Sure. In the pro scene. That was a risky moment for sure, but he does get away.
He's always, NMX is right next to the Young all the time, so he has some peeling because Merlin can provide some CC along with a support sometimes.
Okay, this is going to be half of the gems left required. Rhaegar clears the cap really quickly. Greymaine's still up top getting extra experience. Like, Miracle is starting to get massively behind, man. I mean, I don't know if they really fully understand what they wanted to do with this composition, because I think that they needed to be more aggressive with the ETC. Greymane is up in the top lane, consistently clearing waves faster. Gul'dan's missed so many waves. And Sniper is just denying turn-ins here because they don't want that to go over, but he can't do this for much longer. In fact, he's going to have to leave. That's going to be the turn-in.
Valla comes in a second too late. And there's the first turn-in from Raven. Happening along with the camp because they took the quick camp timing along with Rhaegar there.
In this Q build from the Valla, I'm not really as sold on, to be honest.
And Miracle does have an okay wave clear and follow one from ETC. This makes me to believe maybe we'll see a stage dive and a rotation coming out from Miracle because they keep on rotating up and down so much. Maybe we'll just see ETC in one lane.
This is so coordinated. Judy's so dead.
Even with the perfect covering from Dami and Sniper, it was not enough.
It's really coordinated by Raven. And Kel'Thas, you know, people think of him as just a DPS mage who's just a poker siege mage. Like, oh, Kel'Thas pretty fun, right? You just throw fire at people. But if you actually are good at your accuracy with gravity lapses, you can actually kind of be a ganker in situations like this one where heroes are out of position. So they get a whole fort for this. They're going to get 10 first. Miracle is massively behind for the first time in this series. And I just don't know if they knew the identity of what their comp was supposed to be from start to finish on this one. But I do think, as you say, that we will see stage dive. I think you're absolutely correct. I think this will be an opportunity for them to at least try to catch up, use like rotations with ETC to flank, to get picks from angles that he won't be able to reach otherwise because of Kel'Thas, because of the Muradin. And because there's so much CC, it's difficult to get a good mosh pit, as you were saying. So I like your thoughts on this, and I will have to tend to agree on this in this situation. Pyroblast being held. Very strong, by the way, against a Valla. Could bait out a Divine Shield.
But no. It's Phoenix.
Aww.
The moment you said it, he locked it in.
Aww. Very strong against Valla. If Divine Shield's on cooldown, you could just kind of get a free kill a lot of the time.
But Miracle got the turn in now. They have a window of turning back on 10. Maybe they can even pressure a little bit more into Raven's side, as their wave clear is not the best right now.
Okay, so see how much they get done with this. This could be a moment for Raven to collapse. They have 10. Greymane is just farming the top lane right now. Dami is going to be the first target here. He's blown up. The Phoenix doing that extra damage that was required. Sank going to help out as well to make this a safer transition. More stacks given to NMX. And now this is the pick they were looking for. Pre-10 for MVP Miracle. They can take away these Web Weavers. Greymane still just staying in the top lane to continue to give them an advantage and experience. He's going to have so many gems carried in a moment. I don't even want to know how many he's got. We're so close to completion of Convection. That is going to be basically only one wall granted versus one fort that Raven was able to accomplish.
12, and if he loses that, it will be terrifying. But if he completes with this 8 more, nice cleanse there onto Dion.
Carlos doesn't have as many gems as I thought he would, to be honest. Nice pierced Stormbolt.
That toss onto Horrify. Ooh, he could have survived maybe with an Ancestral Healing, but Chum was way too far away.
Was still really cool double Stormbolt though. That was so well done by Dami, but so well done by Muradin as well. Like, I have to give credit on both sides there. That was really cool. So Miracle trying to fight their way back into this one. They don't have enough for another Web Weaver turn in just yet. They're very close though, and that's the goal right now, is to make sure that they can buy enough time to stop the turn in. It was almost a double turn in for Raven. They were so close to that.
Oh, 15.
15.
5 more.
Sniper, I feel like, is always trying to get picks on him, but the rest of his teammates are not always there for him. Okay, this could be a pick. Oh, Chom did not know. There's the power slide. I think this might just be a dead Rhaegar. Yep. Well done. It's only 3 gems, and they are going to get the turn in regardless, so this is still a win for Raven, but got to respect the coordination for Miracle. So this is going to give Raven 13 first. There's a chance they commit to really heavily trying to get the top keep wall, but I think maximizing the experience lead is the safer play here. Let's see what they want to do. Setting up right now. So NMX does give a strong wave here in the top lane. It's just going to rotate down, so they'll leave that top one for the last push. We'll try to get as much damage done to these forts as possible. Look at how quickly this is cleared, though.
Yeah, meanwhile, Greymane is pushing bottom, but this one's quickly gone, and they're making a big rotation, and Darvish does not realize this.
Yeah,
Seems
this is
like
a bit absurd.
He will be going down for sure. There's no way he can survive. Hamlin may have to drop down the Sank, yes.
I don't think he can get to the Sank. He's trying. Oh, silence! No Sank. Interrupted.
Even the cleanse.
Oh, the Horrify again!
Catches the Tyrio. Nicely done there. 2
great Horrifies here. The Twilight Dream to deny the Sanctification. And that was just tunnel vision, rookie mistake. That should not be happening with the Greymane going that far like that. Miracle is rotating down. There was vision of it miles away. But, I mean, you have to really, again, just love how Miracle handled the situation. It was a mistake by a Greymane. Hammond went too far, but you, more than criticizing him, I just want to give pointers to, or give thumbs up to Miracle, who's now, with that defense, successfully built up enough Web Weavers for this next turn in. DeYoung will get the Ancestral here.
Ancestral does connect, but all the CC's out, so this is a chance for Sniper to actually have a great mosh after he has the power slide.
Looks like they're going for Judy here. Ice Block is used. Does get the Divine Shield here. 20 seconds before Twilight Dream is available. Big wins for Raven in these fights. Trading better. Crazy Movement being so hurt early on in the fight meant that he couldn't really do damage there, so they just kind of got shoved back. And maybe I spoke too soon. Miracle might not necessarily get that turn in they were looking for with 74 carried. I wonder if Convection is done. I don't think so. I think we would have gotten the confirmation. Two-way.
Just two-way. And
Echoed Corruption also getting closer, by the way. It's a huge power spike for Gul'dan.
Still a little far away, as I believe 40 stacks is needed to complete instead.
Okay, interrupted here. Well done. More interruption coming out from that Phoenix. It was risky when you're using Kael'thas to interrupt when he's got 2 stacks away.
See, this is pretty tough with lots of CCs on the other side. It's really hard to land on the monster, especially when Kael'thas is onto the back line of
Hamlin will Sank to save himself here, but that means it's not going to be available. Look at Sniper's positioning. Does get knocked up there, so won't actually be able to get the mosh he wanted. That was a close call.
I'm not sure if I followed it. I think he would have lived anyhow.
The Sank?
Yes. I think that was just a panic Sank.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Ancestral is available, but yeah, I don't actually know if that was 100% required, but either way, he saved himself, but the trade-off is that Miracle wins the fight, gets the Web Weavers, And they're, again, going to get this catch-up experience to catch up in, you know, the lead that Ravens hadn't experienced all game long. Sorry, I said that in a convoluted way. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the focus again. The Horrify. Ancestral does not go off.
Ancestral does not connect. And the Mix probably finished.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. Maybe on 19 stacks now then.
I think he's one away. We get that golden little like silhouette that shows when it's done. I don't think he has it yet.
That golden, beautiful quest completed thing around you.
Can't wait until that's part of our UI for the esports, man. Make casting so much easier, viewing so much easier.
And of course.
Is that it? I think that's it. He's off screen though for some reason, so now we can't see.
Oh yes,
yeah, okay, that was it.
Quest completed.
He did it, but the game's not over yet. In fact, they're losing control of it currently. MVP Miracle's going to take an experience lead for the first time this game. They're going to take a structure lead for the first time this game. So as cool as it is that all these things happen, it's a it's a situation where they no longer have control. Echoed Corruption will be done soon too.
That will be a big power spike before cooldown finishes, of course.
Okay.
But the timing is very weird, and the Hammer's positioning is...
Wouldn't be the first time this game he has to sank early.
Another sanctification, and Miracle
He's still gonna die.
Notice the positioning of Miracle Sniper, and Luther is like on the other side. I know where you're going to move later on, so there's no escape for you.
Just aggressively trying to turn in turn-ins that weren't, or sorry, trying to deny turn-ins that weren't necessary, that weren't going to happen anyways. Like, they didn't have enough, now they do, but he needed to be there seconds later, not at that moment. That's going to be the double turn-in here, back-to-back for Miracle. They're trying to poke in, but without Tyrael, without Sanctification, fighting this is going to be so difficult.
Without Tyrael, without the Sanctification, Mean Screaming cannot go in. Kel'Thas may also be dived and gone by the Mosh. By the way, Mosh Pit has not been used even once. It's just there as a pressure tool right now.
Yeah.
It's been working somewhat.
We thought they were going to perhaps take the stage dive just because they were struggling to get into proper positioning with all the pokes coming out. But
I don't think it's needed at the moment because they need some ETC peeling in the front line because ETC is the only tank.
I mean, he's going to... We may never see a Mosh all game long, but yeah, the threat of a Mosh is the scary part of it all. He's had trouble getting into the backline to get picks, but I don't think they need that anymore because they're starting to win these Webbers. They have control of the map now. Phoenix, again, just being used here to try to buy time. So this is going to get burned down by Fury of the Sunwell. When this build completes, when you actually have the full build of this, you feel like a god because you do insane amounts of damage. When he gets 20, he can take Flamethrower as well if he really wants to be like the ultimate poker, the ultimate siege Kel'Thas, and he probably will if we get to 20. All keeps survive here. Top Web Weaver already pretty damaged, so this is going to be the end of this push for now. But Miracle walks away with a level 20 lead. You know, they're getting closer to the level 20 faster, is what I mean to say. And if they can maintain that, prevent Web Weavers until 20, they'll be in great position to take this game, despite the rocky start.
They can, but Raven, there's a big pressure against them. Echoed Corruption quest is soon to complete, I guess. I'm guessing. Should be near 40, if not 40 yet.
Okay.
Lands. It seems like it is finished already.
Yeah, definitely. Holy Ground here does not connect.
Brazen moving into aggressive positioning onto the side.
Yeah, wants to try to bait something here, it looks like. They have Divine Shield available, so that could be one way to open up a strafe fight. Holy Ground avoided here by Crazy Moving again, does not want to get stuck. Divine Shield can't save you from that, at least not long term.
Stunned onto Vala, but no connection again.
They're just being aggressive, trying to zone Raven out of turn-ins, because, again, they're going to hit 20 first at this rate. They're even going to threaten this keep. They have so much siege with Gul'dan. Kel'Thas is better, obviously, sure, but when you have ETC in the front line threatening mosh pits, and you could just toss out a few of those Echoed Corruptions, you can burn down those keeps. And because this threat is so real, no one's even in the top lane, so Raven is just going to lose 20 if this keeps happening. So Miracle's doing exactly what they need to maintain that advantage. Raven is playing this very well, but I feel like if they could squeeze out one member to go top to get experience, that would be the best play. But they're just basically saying, nope, we will never give up a keep. It will never happen.
That's usually Kel'Thas with decent wave clear. Miracle does not have enough, and Raven knows this, but they want to go fully commit before they hit 20. Deyoung's taking so much damage. There's the Holy Ground on the other side.
I think they realized Vala wasn't here. Vala's rotating up now, though. They're going to try to sneak this turn, and Hamlin, will he get it? No, denied by the Moonfire. This is now a risky position for NMX.
Nicely done by Judy, and Sniper's looking in for the angle, so he...
Oh, the Horrify!
Horrify connects on to Chum, the first one to blow up. Sanctification, the second too late!
It's way too late there, and now this is going to be potentially the wipe that causes Miracle to get 20 and end the game. It's just around the corner now. So close was Hamlin. That was such a clutch Moonfire. They're going to take boss here. They have 20. Sank was already used. There's no way for Raven to contest this. They might try to go for a suicidal one anyways. They're headed up that way right now. All right, Sniper's going to get the pick here on the Muradin.
Oh,
that should be game, I think.
Seems like we're getting close to game. There's Holy Ground, but misses totally. They're looking for some zoning, but there's nothing else they can do.
Storm Shield just used for safety here against Tyrael's death. NMX will have his first death of the game. Got his convection stacks, but it won't matter here at the end of the day. We'll never know what he was going to pick on level 20. Would it have been the flamethrower or not? Because we are going to watch this boss march down top lane. This keep will go down momentarily, and this is going to be game over. Horrify comes up in 10. Strafe is available. Even though Raven had a beautiful start and their comp was intelligent, they had good protection for the Kael'thas. He got the convection stacks. At the end of the day, it wasn't enough. The BM Ice Block coming out. Miracle wants to take this with a 3-0 and make a statement. There's the Horrify.
There's a Horrify, and the blow up of Rehgar once more before the game's over. This boss is onto the core. Is he moving right there? Deyoung's trying to do something, but there's nothing that he can do to stop. And Miracle takes game 3 and the series 3-0.
Definitely an uncomfortable game there, you'd have to say. In draft, they kind of got cornered into mage play. Decided to go for the Gul'dan instead of going down the Cassia path that we've seen them do in the past. The more common double support against the Greymane. They made it work in the end. They got that Echoed Corruption. We had some incredible Horrify plays. I feel like Raven, I don't want to call it a throw, but when they were ahead, they made a few critical mistakes, like Darvish dying in the bot lane, pushing as Greymane. The few times we saw Sanctification used out of Tyrael for no reason, out in the middle of nowhere from Hamlin. Those were the moments, I think, that lost Raven the greater game, was just small mistakes here and there, even though their overarching play and overarching plan was very good.
Yeah, their draft, and they had some balance in the team. I think it was all right for the map also. But Miracle had the patience to really not dive in because you know there's a stack, Convection is stacking on the other side, but you don't really have tools, then you don't have to dive in. You have Gul'dan on your team who will also have the power spike once you finish the quest, just like Kael'thas on the other side. And they really punished hard whenever there was a mistake on the other side. They were defensive, and when you see a chance, that's exactly when Miracle stepped in, got kills onto Darvish and Hamlin multiple times, and I think the snowball really started for Miracles from that point on.
Certainly so. So we are going to have an interview now with our MVP. I hope it's Dami. I hope someone told him that I owe him dinner tonight if he'd like it. He can always reject me if he's like, oh, that wolf guy's weird, I don't want to eat with him. You and I are pretty close. Yeah, you and I are pretty close with Dami, obviously.
Yeah, since Tempest Storm days.
Yeah, hung out with him a lot, so if he's hungry tonight, I'm sure he will come and join us. And, yeah, so find out who the interviewee will be here as headed up the elevator right now. Definitely a good series for Raven, I think, though. They really, okay, that's not fair to say, but I think it was a good game for Raven. Game 3, I think, is what they could be very happy with going into their final match next week, because it's going to be a tough one. They face Black, but their play today was pretty solid overall.
Yep.
And the match where they drafted Kael'thas was very well prepared, very well practiced. That's the kind of play we're going to have to see to make sure that they stay in HGC when we go to Crucible in several weeks' time.
Yeah, and Miracle, I'm just happy that we saw another Gul'dan coming out from Korea. I think Gul'dan is a very powerful mage in this meta, especially with ETC when you have that peeling, helping, the covering coming out from ETC so that Gul'dan can be saved so many times. Pick up there, but we don't know who it is yet. We'll see very soon. Maybe it's Nami. Maybe someone else from Miracle.
Well, it's gonna be one of those two, I guess.
Yes.
It's like someone for MVP Black. I'm like, that's really weird.
Hopefully a green person.
자, 역시
스나이퍼!
스나이퍼로 시작하는 스나이퍼 선수를 모셨습니다. 오늘 승리 진심으로 축하드립니다.
네.
Congratulations on your win.
처음 올라오신 거죠?
Is
네.
this your first time on the
그래서
MVP?
좀 어떠셨나요?
zone?
하시면서 한 번쯤은 권태훈 선수가 올라왔어야 되잖아요.
아, 네. 저는 근데 인터뷰를 다른 사람이 할 수 있으면 다른 사람이 하는 걸 좋아하기 때문에
Usually when
Oh.
there's a
네,
chance,
약간
I
다른
usually
사람이 할 때, 좀 다행이다.
want someone else to be interviewed
오히려?
instead.
벌칙 면했다 이런 느낌으로.
벌칙까지는 아닌데.
벌칙까지는 아니죠.
네.
So I was called
인터뷰가
today.
좀
Maybe I
격투보다
did something
더
well.
긴장되는 편이라.
But of course, of being on in front of the camera makes me somewhat nervous.
어떤
누가
거요?
올라올까?
아,
스나이퍼 선수가
예.
올라온다고 제가 어떻게 맞춘지 아세요?
어떻게요?
작가님의 문자를 보고.
You know how I knew
네, 네,
that you'll be coming up
근데
I
이런
saw
자리
the text
자체가
message
그래도
from our
인터뷰에는 즐거운 거 아닌가요?
from our
그렇죠. 이기고 나서
from our writer.
네.
She texted me that you'll be coming up.
인터뷰 할 사람이 항상 없었던 것 같아요.
네, 그래도 이제 권태훈 선수는
I don't
아무래도
think I had too
그동안에
many chances to be
프로게이머 하면서
interviewed.
그래도 좀 많이 이겨본 측에 속하고 또
네.
히어로즈에서
But you're one of the teams that you
요즘
play for a long
같은 것들은
you
좀
played Heroes for a long time. You
일단
weren't interviewed too many times, but
올해 들어서
do you want to have some words?
저번에도 1라운드 때 6등을 했고 이번에도 6등을 해요.
Phase 1, we were 6th place, and again we're stuck in 6.
많이 우울하긴 한데 그래도
And
계속
it's pretty
연습은
sad,
계속 열심히는 하고 있거든요.
네.
but we are actually trying
그래도
very hard.
시즌 안 끝났으니까 계속 해봐야지.
And it is not the end of the season.
자, 그래도 이제
There's
저번에
something
이제 시즌
more waiting for
초반만
us.
하더라도 좀 약한 모습들이 좀 많이 있었거든요.
네.
근데 점점 가면 갈수록 좀 강해지는 모습들이 분명히 저희가 느꼈단 말이에요. 이런 부분들
We did feel that the team getting stronger over the time.
일단 진짜 연습은
네.
진짜 제일 많이 한다고 자부할 수 있을 정도로 스크린도 많이 하고.
Well, doing
그렇죠.
practice and doing the homework, I think I can confidently say that we are one of the teams that does
이유를 많이 찾-
the most
찾고
practice.
있는데 그래도 아직 끝난 거 아니니까 계속
그렇죠.
해봐야지 알 것 같아요. 지금.
but it's not
그래도 좀
coming
나아지고
out
있을
in
것
the
같아요.
tournament in the real competitive
방송은 많이
games
안
as
하시죠?
much. But it's
네,
not
네,
over yet, so
왜안
I want
하세요?
to
안
keep the hopes up.
그거요? 그냥 약간 성격상 좀.
나서거나
네.
뭘 하거나.
네.
근데 지금 말하는 걸 볼 때 김승철 선수보다 잘해요.
But your interview is so much better than
아니
SCSC.
그런 거면
네?
개인 방송 쪽으로
예.
해가지고 왜냐면 제가 선수들 개인 방송 같은
예,
것들 볼 때
예.
상대거나 상대에 있거나 같은 편에
네.
스나이퍼라는 아이들이 정말 많이 봐요. 권태훈 선수를 정말 많이 봤었는데
네.
그런 의미에서 가끔 좀 해줬으면 좋겠다라는 그냥 바람인 거죠.
Whenever I played lots of Hero League, I saw
해보겠습니다.
lots of IDs with
포지션
sniper.
변경으로 좋은 모습과 아쉬운 모습을 모두 보여줬습니다.
But you are the best
자,
sniper,
이전의
of course.
포지션과 오늘의 포지션 중 어떤 포지션이 더 성공적이라고 생각하시는지
Compared to your positioning
궁금합니다.
before or today's new position on your
일단은
tank,
아직
which do you think
포지션이
is a better one
좀
for you?
미정이라서
네.
일단 오늘 이긴 거는
음,
또 상대가 상대이니만큼 이긴 것 같기도 하고
I think
그래서
the reason why we won is because we were against a weaker team, of course.
아직은 좀 더.
And
저희도 막
my role
중간에서
as a tank,
혼선이 올 때가
I think
있더라고요.
there's
계속해서 막 메인 탱 갔다가 원래 옛날에는 서브 딜 쪽이었고
I need a long time. I need a lot of time to improve a lot more.
현재 히어로즈 영웅들이 좀 늘어나고 메타가 바뀌면서 어쩔 수 없는 과도기인가요?
아무래도 좀 많이 지니까
네.
뭐가 좀 맞을까 해서
Is there lots of role swaps in your team? Is it because of the meta? Meta changes because there are so many heroes?
더 나은 게 있지 않을까 해서 계속
I think
바꿔보면
from
하는 거고.
losing so many times, I think we're trying to work on different things. We're trying to do something else, make some changes in the team by changing the roles.
제일 좋긴 한데
네.
지금은 뭔가 탱커를 해야 될 것 같기도 하고 그래서
Of course, staying with
좀 해봐야 될 것
the
같아요.
same role is considered one of the best, but in this meta, I think maybe I should play tank. I had this kind of feelings and thoughts, so we talked throughout the team, and then
자,
we make these
플레이오프
kind of
이제
changes.
플레이오프는 이제 확정이 되셨잖아요. 이거 준비 어떻게 하고 계세요?
As you're going to play, of how are you preparing for it?
꾸준히 연습하고 엘바이브랑도 고정적으로 잡아서 계속 하고 있는데
We're having fixed scrims against L5 a lot.
전에 추석하고 나서 좀 잘하면 될 것 같아요.
자, 이거는 상당히
I think we have chances to catch up and go up
많은
high
분들이
in the
궁금해하실 것
playoff.
같아요. MVP 블랙과 이제 형제 팀인데 MVP 블랙은 좋은 성적을 내고 있잖아요. 그러니까 가정으로 치면은 형은 굉장히 우등생인데 나는 지금 굉장히 문제하다 이렇게 느낄 수도 있어요. 근데 팀
As your sister team is doing,
하실 텐데 이런
sister team
부분은
MVP Black is doing so well compared to your team.
좀 잘 도와주나요?
Do they?
연습
Do those guys help
잘
you at all?
도와주긴 하는데 그냥 좀 저희의 문제라서 그거는 뭐 그쪽에서
They do help us a lot, but it's our own problems that we have.
저희가 항상
So there are things that we can't be helped,
언젠가
and
이제
that's
다시
exactly
한번
why we
올라올
practice
겁니다.
so hard.
그리고
맞아요.
이번 시즌에 그 미라클 기적 보여주실 거죠? 믿고 기대하고 중계되는 거죠?
네, 저번에도 미드난투 때 3등을 해가지고
네.
그때는 2등까지였거든요.
네.
근데 이번엔 3등이니까.
이번에 4등 하시면 안 돼요?
아니요.
Can try a little better. Can you do well in the playoff? Can we see Miracle climbing up?
같은 형제 팀이다 보면 또 그걸 보고
Yes,
본받아서
we can. I
더욱더
think
하려고 하는 열정이
we can do a lot
있을
better
거라고
in
좀
this
믿고
playoff. I
있습니다.
think we're
자, 이제
working
저
really
스나이퍼
hard
선수 앞에 이제 인형이 두 개가
to go to
있는데요.
BlizzCon.
이 두 개 중에 인형 중에서 마음에 드시는 거 하나 가져가시기
Of
바랍니다.
course.
어떤
Time
거
for the
좋아요?
presents.
멀록이요.
예.
There are two more locks.
Diablo.
Everything else was taken on
Diablo.
Friday and Saturday.
이걸로
He can only choose the
카메라
color.
한번
Oh,
잡아주시고.
there's also
네,
Diablo, of
좋습니다.
course.
자, 스나이퍼 선수 그럼 마지막으로 이제 팬
I
여러분들에게
choose
한마디
you,
한마디
Diablo.
부탁드립니다.
일단 블랙에 비해서 항상 좀 안 좋은 모습만
Compared to
많이
MVP Black,
보여드렸는데
we've been lacking in
이번 시즌 플레이오프
lots of
때는 진짜 좀
different
다른 모습
factors.
보여드릴 수 있도록 한번
But during the playoff, we will try to
네, 역시 김생채 선수랑 친구죠.
네.
말투가 느낌 자체가
네.
try to do our best, of course.
느낌들이 있는데
Show our
지금
best
우울한 거 아니죠?
performance.
아니에요.
이겨서 감동받은 거예요?
아니에요. 그냥 뭐 이겨야 될 상대
예.
이겨서.
아, 그쵸.
그럼 자주 오셔서
네?
인터뷰 때 일단 말을 굉장히 잘하세요.
네, 감사합니다.
그러니까
You're so good with talking.
인터뷰하시면 정말 좋을 것 같습니다.
As you should come up a lot more for the interview and then win a lot more matches.
축하드리고 MVP
Hopefully, I
사장
do
정말
win a lot
축하드립니다.
more.
자, 그럼 오늘의 경기
Or the last
결과
words
한번
coming out from
살펴보겠습니다.
Sniper,
갑니다.
and he's the interview for the first match. And here comes the result.
Yep, 3-0 score for his team. For those who don't know, for extra context, Sniper is very famous in Korea and abroad for winning a GSL title in StarCraft 2, and is considered to be one of the people to make that final ZVZ. And a lot of people said he ruined the finals because he played ZVZ and played a style a lot of people didn't like. He's very infamous for that, but he is a GSL champion, and he wants to now make himself an international champion in Heroes of the Storm, but didn't make it happen on DK in 2015, 2016. He wasn't there, but maybe 2017 could be his year. He's going to have to go through those playoffs before that happens. But guys, L5 versus MVP Black. We're finally going there after this short 10-minute break. I swear it's going to feel really long this time, but when we return, we're going to have that epic match. See you then.